All right, get ready. We're about to go on a journey that's happening inside you, right now, every single day. But trust me, you've never seen it quite like this. Let's dive in and take an adventure inside the human body. So, have you ever really thought about it? You take a bite of, I don't know, an apple, a sandwich, whatever. You chew, you swallow, and poof, it's gone. But where does it actually go? What kind of incredible, complex process just kicked off inside of you? Well, we are about to find out. And look, we're not going into this complex world all by ourselves. No way. We've got an expert guide, someone who knows all the twists and turns. So let's meet our tour guide for this wild ride. His name is Gilbert. Gilbert the Grape. All right, first stop on our big adventure, the official gateway to the whole system. So this is where it all begins. You can think of the digestive system as this incredible biological machine, kind of like your body's own personal power plant. Its whole job is to do one thing: turn the food you eat into fuel. That's where your energy comes from. It's how your cells grow and repair themselves every single day. Okay, so the instant food enters your mouth, the whole process kicks into gear. Chewing takes care of the physical part, mashing it all up. But at the same time, your saliva starts the chemical breakdown. It's this powerful 1-2 punch that gets the food ready for the long journey ahead. And hey, speaking of saliva, get ready for this. In just 1 year, you produce enough of it to fill two whole bathtubs. Isn't that wild? That's a mind-boggling amount of liquid, and it's all just happening in your mouth right now. Just incredible. Okay, so once the chewing's done, it's time to move on to the next stage. Our guy Gilbert is on the move, heading down what you could call the food chute, also known as the esophagus. So you might be thinking, okay, food just falls down into your stomach, right? Gravity. But nope, it's not just gravity. The real secret here is this amazing process called peristalsis. Just picture a series of perfectly coordinated muscle waves, all working together to push the food along its path. Here's the breakdown of how it works. It's pretty cool. The muscles behind the food squeeze tight. Then the muscles in front of the food relax, opening up the path. This creates this powerful wave that just pushes everything forward. This process is so good, you could technically eat while you're hanging upside down. But yeah, maybe don't try that one at home. Okay, after that quick trip down the esophagus, our guide Gilbert arrives at the next major stop. And this place, well, it's a churning, muscular, and super acidic chamber we call the stomach. And let me tell you, Gilbert is not exaggerating one bit. The environment in here is intense. He basically says, "That burns like crazy. I gotta get out of this stomach acid or else I'll turn into liquid or paste." Yikes! You can really get a sense of just how powerful that stomach acid is. Now, for any normal piece of food, the stomach's powerful muscles and that harsh acid would just mix and grind it all down into mush. But luckily for our little guide, Gilbert has a special protective bubble, so he can watch the whole process safely without, turning into grape jelly. So after that, let's call it an acid bath in the stomach. The journey must go on. Next up, the incredibly long winding tubes of the small and large intestines. And when I say long, I mean really long. Your small intestine, all coiled up neatly inside your belly, is over 20 feet long. 20 feet! To give you some perspective on that, if you were to stretch out your small intestine, it would be about as tall as a full-grown giraffe. Just think about that for a second. That is an amazing feat of biological engineering, and it's all packed inside you right at this very moment. But here's the thing, the small intestine doesn't do all this work by itself. Oh no! It's got a whole support crew, a team of helper organs. You've got the liver, which makes bile to break down fats. Then there's the pancreas, which sends in this powerful cocktail of enzymes to break down pretty much everything else. And finally, the gallbladder, which is like a smart little storage tank holding on to that bile until the perfect moment. All right, so after the small intestine has done its job and absorbed most of the good stuff, the nutrients, whatever is left over moves into the large intestine. And this is where we meet the locals, the resident population, which is made up of trillions of good bacteria. Now, don't get the wrong idea. These aren't the kinds of germs that make you sick. Not at all. Think of them more like trillions of tiny little workers, absolutely essential to your body's ecosystem. They help break down any leftover food and vitamins, and this is a big one. They play a huge part in keeping your immune system strong. Seriously, you couldn't be healthy without them. Okay, our epic journey is almost over. We're nearing the end. It's time for the grand finale of the whole digestive process, the end of the line. So, whatever's left of that meal enters the large intestine. And for about the next 36 hours or so, the body has one last job to do: absorb most of the water out of it. This whole process compacts the waste into what we call stool, which then makes its way to the final waiting room, the rectum. So, how do you actually know when it's, time to go? Well, it's actually a really clever system. As the rectum starts to fill up, these little sensors send a message straight up to your brain. Your brain gets the signal and creates that familiar urge. Then your sphincter muscles get the final say. They either relax to let it happen, or they contract to hold on until you find a more convenient spot.
And with that final signal, the exit doors swing open and our brave guide, Gilbert the Grape, makes his grand escape. His incredible journey is finally complete.
So, after seeing this whole incredible journey from start to finish, you kind of realize your gut is home to trillions of these essential microscopic workers. And that leaves us with one last really important question for you. Are you treating them right? It's definitely something to think about the next time you sit down to eat.